Kong, Skull Island. Spoilers. There's spoilers in this video. If you don't want to be spoiled, if you don't want to know in advance certain elements of the movie that could spoil the ending and maybe some of the thrills, don't watch this video. I've got another video, spoiler free. This one, spoiler thick. Ready? Here we go. Kong, Skull Island, starring Samuel L. Jackson, John Goodman, Tom Hiddleston, and a host of other outstanding actors. But let's get down to it. The premise of the story is you have a bunch of people who are coming to the island for supposedly to investigate the island because it's new island. They want to explore it. The reality is they work for a group called Monarch. Monarch is a group that looks for gigantic creatures, prehistoric, ancient, powerful, Titan-like monsters that they believe exist on the earth, most of them in the center of the earth. They come to the island with military backing and government funding, and they go through this gigantic storm to get to the island. The island's surrounded by a constant thunderstorm and typhoon, just bad weather, rain, sleet, snow, and they penetrate that, come to the island, and almost immediately are beset upon by Kong. Kong's like, he might as well have been waiting in the bushes for him. They're there minutes and Kong is all over him. And that's the pace for most of the movie. It does slow down a lot. It's full speed and then it slows down, then it's full speed and then it slows down. But when it's up and running, it's really up and running. There are a host of monsters on the island. It's not just Kong, and it's not just the skull crawlers. There are dozens of giant creatures. Giant ants that sound like birds for whatever reason. And more. There's gigantic spiders and the whatnot. But they bring Samuel L. Jackson. They don't actually bring him. He's the leader of the military guys. And at this point in his career, he's at the end of his career. He's about to become a civilian. He didn't really want to become a civilian. He's sort of like Major Payne in this sense. He doesn't want to go to the civilian world. He's just looking for one more good fight. And he gets it. They send him here. And he decides that Kong is the enemy. And by all means necessary, he is going to eliminate the enemy. He lost the fight in Vietnam. He's not losing another one. So with all of the military might at his disposal, he wishes to try to kill King Kong. And he gives him a fight. He gives him a good fight. He's a smart guy and he's got some plans and he's got some traps set up to try to kill the beast. And to be honest, if he would have known in advance what he was up against and he would have had time to prepare, I think he'd have killed Kong in short notice. But I don't want to give that part away. He may or he may not do some real damage. You'll have to see. But the part that I do want to talk about is the ending. Stay for the ending, man. There's an Easter egg. I mean, it's like way at the end. It's after the credits, after the lights came back on. Everybody was walking out of the theater. There was like me and 6 other people. I never walk out until they start sweeping the floors. But there's me and a couple of other people. We're just sitting there, we're chilling, and then all of a sudden Tom Hiddleston's voice comes on and he's like, "Are you just gonna sit there in the dark?" And I'm like, "Yeah." go on, and there's more. So he tells you, well, he doesn't really tell you anything, but I'm deciding what I want to do about giving stuff away. He talks to someone, and it turns out that they've got him in a chair in an examination room, him and Brie Larson. And it turns out it's the people from Monarch, because he's seen too much and he knows too much. But they decide to let him know a little bit more. And it turns out, get ready, because this is a spoiler. It turns out that there are more monsters in the world than just King Kong. They say more kings in the world is what they say. That's the term apparently they're using, at least at the end of this movie, for the giant monsters. And they show a film, and the film, because when they found King Kong, there were cave-like drawings of an indigenous people on the island. I don't know how they survived, but an indigenous people on the island who over the centuries had drawn pictures of Kong and the other monsters and stuff like that. And there were cave drawing-esque type pictures. And they show him some video, getting back to Tom Hiddleston while he's in his examination room. They show video of more cave drawings, and it looks, eerily familiar to what he's seen at the beginning of the movie. And they show what appears to be Mothra, Godzilla, Rodan, and the three-headed golden guy with the wings, King Godzilla, I think. I'm probably saying that wrong, but he's there too. And this, I thought that was a great move, because now they don't have a King Kong movie that doesn't go anywhere. Most King Kong movies, King Kong Part 2, what does he do? He fell off the Empire State Building, he's dead, right? So what do you do for an encore? He's a zombie. Zombies are big now. They can't do that. They needed somewhere to go with the story. Godzilla, they got, I think, 25 Godzilla movies, but they don't catch the American audience, at least not today's American audience. So they've decided to do it this way, where they take the two champs, the two heavyweight champs, King Kong and Godzilla, and they are going to be in the same universe, apparently. And it looks like inevitably their paths are going to cross. Now, Godzilla is noticeably bigger than King Kong. It's like a full-grown man and a baby. But what they said was, Kong, in the movie they say Kong's young and he's still growing. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. And they show his parents, there were two other gigantic gorillas that were killed. And it's kind of nice. They're died, it's their bones, they're holding hands. But they appear to be noticeably larger than King Kong. And King Kong's the size of like a mountain, but they're bigger than him. So if he's still growing, he's going to get bigger, more powerful, and everything. One thing I got to say about King Kong, he in the face, he looked like a monkey, right? He looked like a gorilla. But, there's nothing to say that King Kong is just a gigantic gorilla, Gigantopithecus, as it were. But he looks like, to me, like Bigfoot, He looks like Bigfoot. He walks upright, he doesn't slouch, he doesn't do the knuckle crawl or nothing like that. He just walks like a dude, through the water, through the trees and everything. He uses a stick like a baseball bat, like he's like a guy with an ape's face. And it's good. They have some pretty good fights. He fights a lot of different monsters, and that's essentially what he's doing. And one of the monsters happens to be Samuel L. Jackson. He's one of the big bads in the movie. but I had to do the spoiler, so I had to get that off my chest. Stay until the end, man, and see it. Just hearing me say it doesn't do it justice. You gotta watch it, you gotta see it. But I give this movie 7 bags of popcorn. And if you dig the video, if you dig the content, if you'd like to see more, then right here, man, subscribe. Click my face and subscribe. And then like.